The mission here is to build understanding between cultures and a more sustainable, just world. We've done so much. We've reopened, we've transformed the building, we've started the work. But that's not it. It's not done. That's just setting the foundations. It's being really clear what we can do next. Over the next 10 years, how does this museum build the world we want to live in? How does it respond to the needs of people in Manchester?
I didn't feel like I fitted in a museum. I didn't feel like I was anything interesting and engaging for a person like me. I think what matters to me the most is the mission of the contributions of South Asia. If I were to look at the history of electronic music or South Asian electronic music, where's that history? And I think that was the agenda, that Manchester Museum South Asia Gallery wanted to address. And it's a place to share. There's a team of us, I don't know, we're maybe about 30 odd co-curators. I'm a working class voice, South Asian, Muslim, Pakistani working class voice. And I want to just speak out in a good way to have a say in how I perceive institutions and heritage sites, and who should have a say in them as well, and who should be reflected in them as well, and who can learn from it. Who are the storytellers? Who writes the narrative? And I think that's the key. I want to contribute because I want to rewrite the narrative.
Manchester Museum's had a living collection now for over 60 years. We're a university museum, so we have access to some of the most amazing researchers, some amazing facilities here on our campus, which has links with partners in really interesting and diverse parts of the world. We're able to do some holistic conservation projects that I think a lot of other collections would really struggle to do. Amphibians are the most endangered group of vertebrates on the planet. We know that out of the 9,000 species that are found around the world, 41% of them are at risk of extinction. We want people to come in, get a sense of wonder, understand the challenges, and then feel equipped to make the decisions that they can, that can have really positive impacts for amphibian survival in the wild. We're working with partners and communities in different parts of the world. We're working to tackle climate change, biodiversity loss. All of that is pretty ambitious for a relatively small collection of animals in a museum, but it doesn't feel out of place here. It feels like the right sort of ambition to have.
I believe in a sense of justice, and I believe museums are places that everybody should feel is a space for them. Museums should be accountable for the histories that they exist within. And there's a lot of pain within the collections. There's a lot of pain for even, me and my ancestry within the collections. And I think being in a space that's actively wanting to hold space for that and to address that is really important, and opening that door for others too is really important to me. Colonialism dislocated so much. People from land, but also people from themselves, people from culture and community, and engagement through the collections in really meaningful ways can really start to heal some of that. And I think that's really beautiful and important work. And it's something that I feel very privileged to be in a position to help support for people. I think communities are really struggling with so much. It isn't necessarily about us solving the problems within the city, because I think we're not placed to do that. But the museum is recognising that we've got lots of resource, that there's a city with lots of need, and how we can be a good neighbour and a good partner and be a part of the ecosystem of action in the city in a meaningful way.
We want to see the city greener, and we want a lot of people to take pride and ownership in it, getting people connected to the natural environment, getting them involved in nature, having it as part of their life for their physical and mental well-being. We use the co-working space in the museum on the top floor, and it's a place that we regularly use for meetings, both internal and external. We've made some great connections with other organisations who use the space, and it's had a bit of a ripple effect as well into how we've spread into sort of slightly different realms in the community. We've seen such a big focus on the natural world within the museum, and we've seen how that's expanded. Museums are there to sort of offer an insight into other cultures, into other places, into other people, but it needs to be done ethically. And I think they've sort of really understood that one thing, I guess, that does connect people and those learnings that we can get from other places is nature. And you can see how they're sort of bringing that into their space a lot more, which is, yeah, definitely a positive.
Pink College is based on the top floor of the museum. And since I found out it was based at a museum, I thought this is the location I wanted to go to. The teachers and the kids don't like loud noises. Me and my friends are all right with it. We're the loud ones in the college. What makes a college really is like the students and the teachers kind of working together to make that comfortable environment, and it just works straight away. You just get that really creative vibe, and you just like want to do drawing or want to do a painting. It just clicks as soon as you come into college.
Repatriation that we did with the Anandiliaqua was my first one that I've seen all the way through. The return work we do, we call relational return. And so we work on relationships and not just the transaction of the return, but something that goes beyond that. The Daddy Kwa Kwa Kwa, which means shell dolls, are traditional girls' toys that were made on Groote Eylandt by the Anandiliaqua. We didn't expect to get them when they were given to us at the handover, but we were super excited. A part of their condition was that, one, they have personhood. So when we handle them, we must speak to them, but also they have to come out to play. And every year, the more they kind of get marks on them or the more the paint starts to smear, that means we're doing our job. We're doing our job of care. Inviting young children in and saying, we need you, otherwise we can't do this work in a really meaningful and purposeful way is fantastic. And if the purpose of museums is kind of upholding culture, this is just another example of that return can lead to amazing things. And it's not about loss, actually. It's about so much of what you gain in trying to answer those bigger questions of today.
We've done some great work and we're ready. We've got exactly the right people in. Now let's get cracking. Let's really make the difference. We know we can.